JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 4th of November 2022. So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Friday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, review the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. Now guys, jumping into the charts, so let's start off with Nikkei. Nikkei was off yesterday, and they resumed trading today. So yep, and they've closed already. Yeah, they've closed, but looking at this picture here, I think it was like playing catch up with after Friday's decline, Wednesday's decline we had in the U.S. I mean, it seems like this just kind of moved a little bit to the downside. So yeah, it broke the upside line and it fell below my target, this 27,400 level. And look at this, I mean, it drifted lower and almost reached my target, other target here near the 26,981. I would say it came very close to testing the psychological 27,000 mark as well. But look, in general, this is a good result because in general I was aiming for here somewhere, for this area. So we reached that, so that's a good call. What's next? Well, probably the safest option is to wait for a drop below that 27,000 mark, below that 26,981 zone, in order to get a little bit more comfortable with further declines. At the moment, I'm just observing this. As long as it remains in this territory, below this downside line, but above this hurdle, above that 27,000 mark, I will remain a little bit on the neutral side because it's really difficult to see what's going to happen here further. Now, one thing for sure, I need to get rid of this upside line, no longer needed. And now, for example, if you're looking for, let's say, some higher levels, then certainly wait for a break of this downside line, and then we could go further north. Now, Shanghai Composite, yeah, beautiful explosion here. Look how well this worked out, and I kept on talking about this, and I said keep your eyes on this downside line and that 21-day EMA. If we clear that, yes, we could go higher, and my next target would be this 3,100 zone. Well, we didn't really reach that level because, look, I mean, this is quite a big of a move here, and maybe not in one day, I would say. Of course, it's possible, but maybe not this time. So yeah, in general, China this this week is feeling better because again the news that they're opening up again, that's kind of helping the market to push a little bit higher here. And yeah, at the moment, look, I mean, I'm still aiming for that 3,100 territory, and to be honest, I'm gonna take it from there. I'm just gonna aim for that level, and then we'll go from there. We'll see what it wants to do after. ASX 200, beautiful rebound from this upside line. So far, so good. Look, I mean, I talked about this in the beginning of this week. I said that, hey, keep your eyes on that upside line. And another thing, what I said, that if we fall back below the 200-day EMA, we could consider this nice little correction here to the downside. And so far, it's doing that. So far, it's all working nicely. Can we get a further, I would say, like a further rebound here back to the upside? Well, at the moment, of course, I am considering that. However, of course, I do not kind of exclude a possibility, let's say a reversal back to the downside or something like that. Of course, it's always the case. You know, you always have to be careful because anything can happen, and especially with today's day, we do have some news coming out. So, for example, today's for this one, I think it's already too late. But for the other ones, well, actually, I'll get to the economic calendar just in a bit. So with this one, with ASX 200, yes, again, we'll continue monitoring this, but it's going to be quite interesting to see what's going to happen today with Europe and US, because if those suddenly fall off the cliff, well, we could expect actually this one, going lower. But again, from the technical perspective, like I said, it's I need to see a break of this upside line in order to go lower, and then we could take it from there. Now, the German index, DAX, we are keeping a close eye today on the economic data. We have some numbers from Germany, so the German composite and the services PMIs are coming out. Then the Eurozone in general, the services PMIs are coming out, so those are going to be quite interesting. And according to the calendar here, I don't know if this is going to be right or wrong, but ECB President Lagarde, she's holding a speech, so yeah, maybe a bit of movement around that time. But check out the calendar, guys. Again, I think it's could be it could be a little bit a difficult one. So anyway, keep your eyes on that, guys. I mean, maybe, like I said, maybe she will deliver a speech, or maybe not. But we can also have the ECB's De Guindos. He's also speaking, apparently. So yeah, guys, let's see if that's gonna happen. Later on in the day, I would say keep your eyes on the US data. If you're wondering what's happening then, well, we have the NFP numbers coming out. So I would say, we have the NFPs. Currently, the non-farm payrolls are expected to decline from 263K to 200K. Let's see where that's going to come out. Unemployment is expected to rise a little, from 3.5 to 3.6, and of course we will have Canada's numbers, so that's going to be quite interesting as well. So and I think you could keep an eye on USD CAD as well, but actually I think I've missed out on that one on the list. Let me just bring it back to the list here. So yeah, let me just put this back, and okay, I'll pick up on USD CAD as well later on. But anyway, there are some data. Check out the economic calendar, guys, and be very careful. In regards to the German index, DAX, look, the rising wedge, I talked about it, and it's working. It worked out. So the rising wedge idea did work out, and look, I mean, we had a breakout, and if you remember, I said to you that if we break it, there's an obstacle here, this downside line. Well, there we go. It is an obstacle. And we're currently seeing the cash index rebounding back up a little. So, yeah, that's why this arrow here is drawn from where it's drawn, from below this downside line. So, yeah, if this idea of a rising wedge worked out, yes, we had a breakout to the downside. Can we see a further decline? That's a good question. That's probably maybe something for next week. Because again, depending on how we're going to trade today, I mean, at the moment, I am just kind of, seeing a bit of a rebound here. So, it's, let's say, we're sitting somewhere around this 13,190 zone. So somewhere about around here, near the high of yesterday, let's put it this way. So if you're looking for some lower levels, like I said, wait for a drop below this downside line, and then we could take it from there. With the upside, now that's a problem for me, because at the moment, look, if we just say that as long as it stays above this downside line, then yes, we could go higher. Yes, true, that could be the case. However, However, I don't like these myself. I mean, I don't like these scenarios, and I just kind of rather stick to something else. So, for example, I'll keep an eye on the current highest point of November near the 13,444. So, if we clear that one, then yes, I'll go to the upside again. We need to get rid of this rising wedge, no longer needed. Yeah, if we pop above this, like I said, this is my safer option to use, because again, here, while we're trading here, it could be a bit of a roller coaster ride, so it could be up and down here, not without, without a clear kind of indication where it wants to go. However, if it starts breaking one of these sides, which I've mentioned, that's when maybe it could result into something a little bit more interesting. NASDAQ 100. Okay, there we go. And further decline. Of course, yesterday's trading activity wasn't as strong as it wasn't as strong a decline as we saw during the Fed, after the Fed, sorry. It still reached my target here. So look, I mean, I talked about this before. I said that if we fall below this 11,177 territory, I'll go towards this 10,967, and if that gets cleared, this is my next target, where it got a hold up yesterday. Okay, so that's wonderful. I mean, everything's really technical here so far. I have to admit that. On NASDAQ, the cash index right now is sitting at around 10,750 level, so basically above this territory, above this key support zone. So that puts me to this next point of mine. If we do drop below this territory, I will go lower, but I will only go for this lowest point of October initially. With the upside, yeah, like I said, with this upside right now, I mean, any move to the upside right now could be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of selling. However, if we climb back above this 11,177 territory, that's where I'll get a little bit more excited with the upside. Oh, and by the way, if you remember, in the beginning of this week, I said, hey guys, this could be potentially something like an inverted head and shoulders pattern, something like that. And it still could be the case, however, not an ideal one, a bit of a complicated one. And to be honest, I think that even it would be, it would be shameful to kind of even call it an inverted head and shoulders pattern, because it seems like I'm trying to find something here where it's not. So that's why just let's ignore this. I mean, I'll still keep it. I'll still keep this line, the so-called neckline, because it's still my preferred area for the upside is from around here. But if we do start pushing above this 11,177 territory, then yes, I'll go a little bit more to the upside. Now, S&P 500, similar story, guys. Yeah, we are nicely sitting near this area. Oh, and by the way, if you can see, my chart here has shifted a lot since I last time picked on it. And yes, I mean, let's analyze these arrows here. I mean, this worked out. Okay, perfect. That was good call here. Okay, everything seems to be nice, but I think it's time for all of it to go away. I will just bring back this downside line just for the time being, because in a way, of course, it's a tentative one, don't get me wrong, but somehow it seems like it could be an interesting one to watch. At the moment, yes, we're drifting lower. So, and again, if you remember, I'm really testing your memories here. If you remember, I keep on asking you if you remember. But yes, if you remember, I once talked, well, not once actually, several times, I talked about this idea where when you break the downside or the upside line, and you actually come and revisit it from the other side, and it seems like this is what it's doing right now. And if we were going to follow this logic, then we could expect a rebound back to the upside. Again, will that be the case? Let's wait and see. I'm not really at the moment, I'm not really sticking to that idea. However, probably I'll take it. I'll say it a little bit in a more simple way here. Here on the S&P, for example, if we push back above this 3,700 and let's say 75 territory, it's basically where we're currently seeing the 21-day EMA. However, that's going to change, or in other words, if we push back above the 21-day EMA, I will consider a slightly like maybe a better move to the upside. Now, DXY dollar index. So, okay, this one is. Oh, and by the way, with if you remember, I told you in the beginning of this week. Look, I mean, maybe this is a falling wedge or something like that, because maybe I'm gonna, you know, we could stick to this line, or we could stick to this line. It's all tentative. Don't get me wrong. It's all kind of very still subjective and not really, you know, objective. So. I talked about this idea where we could see, you know, a little bit of a, I mean, a hold up if we do remain below this downside line. It did push higher and it did retrace back down. So I would say maybe we could actually lift this downside line just to be a little bit more safe. Yeah, if we continue to trade somewhere here, or struggle to push higher, then I would say this scenario could be working out. So I'm keeping this in mind, but again, let's see how that's going to play out. Now, gold, look at the beautiful move. It's early morning here in Europe, and we are already having this strong move in gold. I mean, yesterday, look, we had a strong move to the downside. Tested this key support zone, and if you remember, I talked about this, and I said that I need to break below this area in order to go lower, and maybe, just maybe, we are forming here a possible descending triangle, something like that. So we're considering all these ideas, but now we're seeing a nice push to the upside again. And look at this. I mean, talk about the frustration. If you were, like, let's say buying yesterday here somewhere, and you're thinking, you know, okay, this is not looking good, and it wasn't really looking good. It was pushing to the downside quite heavily, and look at this. By the end of the day, it reversed to the upside, and today we're seeing a push higher. Look, at the moment, I'm aiming for this 21-day EMA, or at least the area near that 21-day EMA, somewhere around that 1652 level, something like that. Still a bit of room here, about like $5 to go. Could be the case, could be even a test of this downside line, who knows. Again, guys, today's, like I said, today's NFPs, so keep that in mind, because again, that could shift the dollar, and that could then have a knock-on effect on gold. And then we'll, yeah. But at this point, look, I mean, maybe a bit of retracement here at some point could happen, but at the moment it looks strong. So yeah, it could, you know, could continue pushing here to the upside. WTI oil, so yeah, also enjoying the moment, and look, it is flirting with that 90 level. There we go. So okay, what are we gonna do next here? So basically, as I said, if we do clear this level, the 90 level, and we stay above it, yes, I'll go further north. And my next target will be this 100-day EMA, and then the 200-day EMA, and if that gets cleared, then it's in the 93.62. So I'll go in these slow steps, just to be, like I said, on the safe side. Ethereum, so yeah, there we go, boom, there we go, we're pushing nicely to the upside, guys. Okay, that we're enjoying the moment. Let's see if we can enjoy this moment a little even more, because at the moment, I am there's a lot of words, enjoy and moment, so okay, let's say it this way. I mean, we have rebounded from this downside line. Can this push higher? Again, we'll have to wait and see. At the moment, yes, for the time being, we are moving nicely to the upside. But if you're not comfortable with this scenario, just wait for a pop above the 1664 area. If we clear that, then yes, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high, and potentially more buyers could join in. Here, everything could still fall off the cliff. Again, a lot will depend on DXY as well today, so just be very cautious on that side. AUD/USD jumping into a few pairs. Beautiful rebound from this upside line. That's wonderful. But as I said before, I am just kind of, as long as it remains in here, in this little squeeze, I am just watching it. And yeah, if we do break this, upside line, then yes, I'll get a little bit more excited and I'll go lower. If we don't, I will just continue observing this one. Let me just put this one back here. If we push through the upside here, through this downside line, that's where I'll get a little bit more excited with higher levels. And ZDCHF, just a quick update. I mean, I talked about this for the past 2 days. Beautiful continuation move here within this very tight and nice, beautiful rising channel pattern. As I said before, like if we know in order to go lower, I need to see a break below this lower side of this this rising channel. At the moment, as long as it remains in here, it could continue moving higher. So, but at the moment, like I said, I am targeting only this area, this downside line near this 0.59 territory. USD JPY. This one's flat, and to be honest, not very exciting. However, if you do like to trade this pair, okay, I would say, you know, everybody needs to find their own instrument, but this could be interesting if we pop above this 148.85 at least, because at the moment, look, you're probably tired of me talking about the same level, this 147.65, which is the highest point of 1998. Great. So we're kind of still hugging around that, you know, hugging that level. So at the moment for me, it's just it seems like it seems that some, you know, it doesn't want to let it go, and although it seems to be, it wants to go higher, but at the same time, it did already quite a decent move to the upside. If we judge, especially from this, you know, by this monthly chart, quite a steep incline here. Quite a steep move to the upside, so maybe a bit of a retracement here could be possible, but at the moment it seems like it doesn't want to go, because my downside scenario could come in from this 145 level, or at least I could start looking at some lower levels on a break below this 21-day EMA, but then we could get the same problem as on Wednesday, for example, dropped lower and then look, a strong reversal back down. So you can protect yourself, let's say, with this way. If we do fall below this 21-day EMA, I will go a little bit more to the downside, but I'll just have my, you know, stop loss on a break even, just in case it reverses again sharply to the downside. USD CHF, so yeah, this one is quite interesting. So we broke above this key resistance area between the 1.0050 and the 1.0064. I talked about these levels, and look, what I talked about was that if we push back above this hurdle here, the 0.9962, then yes, I will go a little bit more to the upside, and yeah, this was my initial target. We cleared it, and we pushed further north. So at the moment, I would say as long as we stay above this highlighted zone right here, I will continue targeting the upside. In terms of the downside, this is, I think, where I need to adjust. I'll put this arrow here a little bit. This is where I need to adjust my downside scenario. So I think, in my opinion, the better option here is to wait for a drop below this hurdle here, this 0.9962, the one that I talked about, and then maybe keep an eye on this area here. Let me just put this back on the chart here. There we go. So if we do fall back below this hurdle, at the same time we would fall below the 21-day EMA, and we could see a move towards that 0.9842 territory. But as I said before, as long as we stay above this highlighted territory, I am aiming higher. USD CAD. So yeah, today keep your eyes on it. We're seeing a bit of a decline right now. We're testing this falling channel from above after we broke it to the upside. We're testing it now from above. We're also here with the 21-day EMA. It's also working out nicely. It's a good hold up. Can we get a move back above this 1.37 territory? If we can, I will go higher. If we cannot, we might see a bit of a move back down. So if we fall back into the channel, I am aiming lower. GBP and ZD. So there's going to be a lot of GBP pairs because I just want to talk about all of them, because look how well they're working out. Look, I mean, I talked about this head and shoulders pattern yesterday. I said that, hey, be very careful if we fall again below this, I mean, yesterday I was saying that, hey, maybe, it's not going to be a head and shoulders pattern, but although it looks like one, so we just kind of keep basically at this point you can just stick to a level instead, just to be a little bit more on the safe side, and the level was still the so-called neckline. And there we go, look at this beautiful move down, boom, we confirmed this. This was a head and shoulders pattern, so great. We reached my targets because my targets were the 100 to 200 day EMAs and the 1.9381 level right here, and we managed to breach that as well. So, long story short, where's next? To be honest, at this point, if you didn't catch this move, I would say there is still a bit of room maybe for the downside. However, it could be a bit of a roller coaster ride here, so just probably leave it and see where it's going to find this floor. Try to find, that good potential target. Maybe it's going to be somewhere around here. Could be a nice target here, this 1.9060 or 70, I would say. But again, as long as it stays below this 1.9381, I'm going to continue aiming lower. GBP CHF, beautiful workout of this rising wedge pattern. Boom, there we go. Very pretty, and we broke below this 1.1410 zone. I talked about this. My next target was the 21-day EMA, and if that gets cleared, the next target is the 1.1209. We're halfway there, so I mean, we've reached one of the targets. Now let's see if we can reach the other one. Like I said, my next target is around here. If we somehow start climbing back above this 1.1410 territory and we stay above it, I will have to re-look at all this. At the moment, I just want to keep the formation drawn here, although it's completed. But it just probably, at the moment, it just like looks quite. I'm quite happy about this. Let's put it this way: it's straightforward. I'm quite happy about this. This worked out perfectly. A similar story with GBP CAD. Also, beautiful rising wedge. Boom. Cleared it. We're currently near this key support zone, actually a very good support zone, and let's say if we clear this 1.5317 territory, my next target is around here somewhere near this 1.5117. If we get a nice good test here, then maybe a bit of a rebound here could be possible, but at the moment I'm keeping an eye on this. But to be honest, quite happy about this result. GBP is USD, so yeah, also fell below this area. I talked about this. I said that if we continue to trade below the 1.1460, I will go lower. And at the moment, yeah, we moved nicely to the downside. So okay, great. What's next? Next is the fact that it's kind of hugging around this 1.1185. This is something that I don't like. So that means I think I need to start searching for another target, like for example here, this 1.1152, because somehow this is the target that is providing support. That's the low of the 14th of October. If we fall below it, I will go further south. Euro JPY here, I would say a nice beautiful move to the downside. After we broke this upside line, we reached one of my targets here, the 144 territory, and now the question is, can we see a further decline below this? Hey, everything's possible, and as long as we remain below that 21-day EMA, and if we fall below this 144 territory, I'll go a little bit lower, where my next target will be, and this was the one. Near this, first of all, of course, I'll aim for this 100-day EMA, then this 140.90, but then we do have this upside line, which, depending on who's going to be first, and depending on how this is going to all play out, maybe this line could get tested as well, so just keep an eye on that one. And finally, Euro USD, this one is on a bit of a decline. And it's currently flirting with this upside line. I mean, it broke it, now it's testing it from underneath, and to be honest, again, the same story. I think that everybody needs to keep on watching today's NFPs and to see what's going to happen there. But yeah, at the moment, look at it this way: if we stay below this upside line, I will continue aiming to the downside. My next target is going to be around that 0.96 territory. Now, I don't have a specific level, although I have these two levels here, but it could be a tricky one. Initially, like I said, I'll just target this 0.96 territory. But again, if it pushes back above this 0.98775, then that's where I'm going to aim for the upside. So yeah, guys, that's it for this session. I really, guys, appreciate you joining in on a Friday in the morning. Maybe you're done for the week already, so you're finished. So maybe you're enjoying it, but you still managed to join this webinar. So if that's your scenario, then thank you very much for that, guys. Thank you for the dedication. Thank you very much for the likes. In general, I would say be careful today. Have your stop losses in place today, of course. That's important. Yeah, if you're for example doubting like which way it's gonna go, just wait for the news to come out, and then you'll see the direction, and then you can actually jump on the bandwagon and enjoy your moment. But the only thing is that don't overtrade. It's Friday. It can be one-way traffic. So guys, thank you very much. I'll see you on Monday, 7 o'clock GMT time. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.